my name is Regis Snyder, and today I'm going to give you a demonstration of Traction Tools. Traction Tools has been in development for a little over 7 years. We have been live now for over 5 years. Right now we are running over 20,000 level 10 meetings per week on the software. We're an official licensee of EOS worldwide, and all of our software is EOS Pure. Gino Wickman, Mike Payton, Mark Winters, the guys that wrote the Traction books, they actually use our software and they refer clients to us. And out of the 466 licensed EOS implementers in the world, over 400 of them have a Traction Tools account, and they also refer clients to us. Now this is your workspace. This is where you go during the week to get everything set for your level 10 meetings. Our clients tell us that this saves them between 45 minutes to an hour every single week just in preparation of your level 10 meetings. Everyone in your company that is a user of the software will have their own individual workspace page. It is completely customizable, but the way that we do have this one set up is we've got the scorecard on top. Right underneath that are all of Eileen's current to-dos. They're broken out by the meetings that they come from. These are her current rocks, her 90-day goals. They are also broken out by the meetings that they come from. Eileen has it set up so that she can see all of the issues that they're going to be discussing during their next level 10 meeting. That way she gets a little sneak peek. She also has it set up to see all of the people headlines before she goes into the meeting. And most importantly, Eileen runs this meeting. So she has it set up so she can see everybody's to-dos that are a part of this meeting. That way she can keep an eye on everybody during the week, make sure they're getting all their work done. She doesn't have to make any phone calls or send out any emails. All of the information is right here on her personal workspace. Now, as you are preparing for the meeting, if you would like to add anything or change anything on the scorecard, all you have to do is click in the box and type in the new number. That way, when you get to the scorecard portion of your level 10 meeting, this whole thing will be filled out. You don't have people typing in their information in the middle of the meeting, wasting everybody's time. It'll all be filled out and all you have to do is analyze. Now, we are in partnership with a company called Zapier. Zapier is one of the largest API companies out there. Any software that Zapier speaks to, you can have it set up so information comes directly from that software right into Traction Tools so you don't have to do everything manually. During the week, if you do come up with any people headlines, all you have to do is go to the bar at the top and go to this first little banner. That will give you a spot where you can type in the headline. In the details, you can put who it's about, any additional information you would like. You tell it the meeting that you want it to be a part of, then you just click the save. I have already put in a couple of people headlines for today's meeting, so I'm not going to waste your time putting in another one. But more importantly, if you come up with any issues during the week that you want to discuss in your next level 10 meeting, go to that same bar. This time you go to the push pin. I will put in an issue for you, and that's going to be Traction Tools. Details I'm going to put in there is we are doing a demo for you today. We're going to go over pricing, and there is a 30-day free trial. Now that information will stick with that issue no matter where it goes in the software. Even once you have solved this issue and you drop it off into your archive, you can still bring it back at any time. All of the issue details, any additional notes that you may have added during your meetings, and any attachments will all be right there with it. This is a cloud-based service, so it has unlimited storage. If you're with us for 10, 15 years, you can go all the way back to that first meeting 15 years ago and still pull back any information that you may need. So I'm going to click save, and that will be waiting for us in the IDS portion of the meeting. And lastly, to-dos. If you come up with any to-dos during the week, go to that same bar. This time you go to the box with the check mark. Now, from your personal workspace, you can only create to-dos for yourself. And the reason for that is this. No one has access to your personal workspace except for you. So if you did want to create a to-do for somebody else, you would always do that during a level 10 meeting. That way they will be there to accept that to-do. And also an email goes out at the end of all the meetings telling everybody about all their to-dos. But a typical to-do, I'll just say, do that thing. Now, if you want this to be a personal to-do that will only ever show up in your workspace, you leave it as personal to-do list and it will print up in that portion of your workspace. But if you do want this to-do to be part of one of your level 10 meetings, you just click in the meetings box. It shows all the meetings that you are a part of. I'm going to put it into leadership because that's the one we're going into today. When I click save, it's going to pop up right over here because everything in this software happens in real time. As soon as you type it in, it goes everywhere in the software you need it to go. So Do That Thing is a to-do for Swan Services Leadership Level 10 meeting. Now that is the meeting we're about to go into, and you always want to complete your to-dos before you go into the meeting. So I'm going to say she got that done by clicking in the box. Review the sales process with the sales team is also part of that Leadership Level 10 meeting, so I'm going to say she got that one done. Get it done is part of her Finance Level 10 meeting. We are not going into that meeting today, so I'm not going to mark it off. And this last one, pick up dinner. That is an example of a personal to-do. Every time Eileen logs into her account, she's going to see she needs to pick up dinner for herself and the family on the 24th, so there's no way she's going to forget to do that. Now with your current rocks, your 90-day goals, if you want to add anything to them like notes or attachments, so you can show exactly what you've done with your rock up to this point, all you need to do is click on the rock you want to add something to. Now it does say edit rock. You are not able to change this rock unless you are an admin, but what you can do is you can add additional notes, you can put in hyperlinks, attachments, URLs, PDFs, pictures, whatever you need, and this will all autosave with that rock. So when you get into the rock review portion of the meeting and somebody asks you, how are you doing on your rock? All you have to do is click it. All of these notes and attachments will pop up right there in the meeting, and you can show them everything you've done with your rock up to this point. Now that is pretty much everything on the workspace page itself, so now we're going to go into a level 10 meeting. To go into a level 10 meeting, all you have to do is click the meetings in the bar up here. That will take you to your personal level 10 page. It shows all the meetings that you have access to. So Eileen has got her leadership level 10. She's got a finance level 10, and she's got a same page meeting with the other owner. All of these that are grayed out, Eileen does not actually attend, but she is an admin, so that gives her full access to every single level 10 meeting. If you are not an admin, the only thing that's going to show up on this page are the meetings that you yourself go into, so that will keep people from being able to see information from meetings that they're not a part of. But to go into the meeting, all you have to do is click the meeting you want to go into, and that'll bring us to the opening page. In the opening page, it's going to show you everybody who should be attending this meeting. Now, if you are running these meetings remotely, what you're going to want to do is set up a video conference. We personally use Zoom, but it works with all video conferencing softwares. You can use Teams, GoToMeetings, whatever you need. What you will do is you will go to that video conferencing software and set it up as a weekly reoccurring meeting in the software, because these meetings are always on the same day at the same time. What that will do is it will create one link for that meeting. So you click that link to join through the video conference, you go to your meetings tab, you click the meeting, and then that will bring you to this page. Now you can have it set up so that you see everybody's camera views either going down the side or across the top. You will also see when they join down here. Once you see everybody has joined the meeting, you're going to start the meeting as a leader. When you do that, it's going to take everybody who's coming in from the video conference and put them onto the leaders page. So you're going to be laser focused. Everybody is always looking at the same things. They are always talking about the same things. You can't jump around to other parts of the agenda. You will truly follow the leader on their page throughout the entire meeting. And what makes our software better than everybody else's is that the leader does not have to share their screen. Everybody will see the leader screen, full screen on their workspace. That will allow them to add notes at any time. They can create to-dos at any time. They can create issues at any time. So everybody is fully involved in the meeting, even if you're not all sitting in the same room. So I'm going to start this meeting as a leader. I am right now Eileen instead of Regis. And the first thing I want to bring to your attention is the timer. Right now it's showing 0 minutes because we just started this meeting. That timer will count up through your entire level 10 meeting. Now your typical level 10 meeting is 90 minutes long, so at any time you can look up in that corner, see how much time has elapsed, make sure you've got a good flow going on the meeting so you can get through all the steps of the agenda within the 90 minutes. This clock is the local time of whoever started the meeting as a leader. I am in the Chicagoland area, so it is showing Central Time US right now. And then you just go through all the agenda points, and these are taken directly from the Traction book. You've got your segue, your scorecard, rock review, people headlines, and to-do list. Each one of those are 5 minutes. Your IDS is 60 minutes, and your conclusion is 5 minutes. When you add these all up, they come up to the 90 minutes of your typical meeting. But if that doesn't work for you, that's okay, you can make changes. You can go into your advanced settings. That will allow you to change the name of anything in the agenda. You can change the order of the agenda. You can take a part out, you can add a part, and you can change the time limits of everything in the agenda. So if you did want your meeting to be an hour long instead of 90 minutes or 2 hours, you can make whatever changes you need. Now we have been in this meeting for a minute, so you see the one right up here, and segue just went from 5 minutes to 4 minutes. This counts up through your entire meeting. Each portion of your agenda will count down. Once it gets to 0, it turns red and a little popping noise goes off in the laptop of the person who's running the meeting. This lets them know that they've used up their allotted time for that portion of the meeting. Now it will not automatically move you to the next section, but what it does do is it says if you want to get done in 90 minutes, you might want to start wrapping things up. So you start with your segue, you share the good news from the last 7 days, one thing personal, one thing business, everybody on your team does it, and then you'll be ready to move on to the scorecard. To move on to the scorecard, the leader of the meeting will just click the scorecard and then everybody's page will jump over to the scorecard. Now this is the exact same scorecard that we had up in our workspace page, just a little bit bigger and easier to read at this point. It shows who is accountable for the measurable, what the measurable is that you have set, and what the goal is that you've set. It also shows your last 13 weeks records. Now, if you meet or beat your goal during the week, it's going to come up in green. If not, it's going to come up in red. So looking at that first measurable, new leads, we got a lot of red going on in that line. There is obviously an issue there. There's a reason we're not getting leads in the way that we should, but we don't want to discuss it now because we only have 5 minutes to get through the whole scorecard. What we want to do is make an issue out of it so that we can discuss it during IDS. To make an issue out of your scorecard, all you have to do is go to that line and click the little push pin. It is going to auto-populate for you. So your issue is your new leads. Here are all the details from the scorecard showing that we did miss it by 1 in the last week. Sue Meacham is the measurable owner. When I click save, bottom left-hand corner, a little box pops up. It says an issue has been created. So new leads is now waiting for us in IDS. We can discuss there how we're going to bring in new leads for the company. Now, if you did want to create a to-do from the scorecard, you can. Typically, your to-dos will always come from IDS, but you can create to-dos at any time during the meeting, and I'll make one out of that same measurable. So we go to new leads once again, but this time instead of the push pin, we go to the box with the check mark, and it is the same through the entire software. Push pins will always create issues, boxes with check marks will create to-dos. So I click in that box. It auto-populates all the details from the scorecard once again, and then you just make up the to-do. I'll say, get 3 leads. Now, Sue Meacham is the measurable owner, so her name automatically came up as the person who is responsible for this to-do. But you can assign it to anybody in the meeting. To assign it to somebody else, just click in that box. It's going to show you everybody who is attending the meeting. I'm going to give it to Lisa. I'm going to take it away from Sue, so now Lisa needs to get 3 leads. When I click the save, bottom left-hand corner, another box pops up. This time it says a to-do has been made. When we get to the to-do section of the meeting, that's going to show up as a new to-do for Lisa that she needs to get 3 leads over the next 7 days. Now your scorecard is completely customizable. Right now I've got it set up based on who is accountable, but you can put it in whatever order you would like. You can track whatever you would like. Your goals can be based on units, dollar amounts, or percentages. We will definitely give you a hand filling this whole thing out, but now let's go into the rock review. We are in the leadership level 10 meeting, so it shows the company rocks first, then it shows everybody's individual rocks. In the rock review, all you have to do is look at your rock and say whether you are off track, on track, or done. That will change from week to week. When it does, all you have to do is click to change it. Company rocks. Right now we've got 20% of them completed. If I move this first one over to done, that automatically goes to 40%. So at any time, you can look in the top corner of each person's box, see exactly how they're doing with their rocks at that point in the quarter. Now this trifold brochure, it is a company rock, but Art Pearson took ownership of it, so it is also his personal rock. So if I move this to off track up here, it will automatically move down there because those two are the exact same rocks. Now, if you did want to take a deeper dive into the rock, find out exactly what they've done with it up to this point, all you have to do is click on the rock itself. Any notes or attachments that were put in before today's meeting are going to pop up right here on your note board. At this point, anybody who is currently logged in can add additional notes. They can put in hyperlinks, attachments, URLs, PDFs, pictures, whatever you need, and this will all autosave with that rock. So next week when you come back in, if you want to check up on art in this trifold brochure, all you have to do is click it. All of these notes and attachments will still be here, along with anything he may have added during the week. Now, I don't know how your typical level 10 meetings are going, but with most companies, the way that it works, the quarter starts, these rocks get assigned to everybody, and they get all excited. They say, yes, I know exactly what I need to do to complete this rock within 90 days. So the first week of the quarter, every single person is on track the whole way down. And then the next week, they are all on track again. And on track, and on track, and on track through the entire quarter. You get to the end of the quarter and you realize maybe you haven't done everything you need to do to complete that rock on time. So you drop to off track. You got like 2 weeks left. You say, oh my goodness, how am I going to complete my rock on time? What we have put in to help with that is this milestones feature. And what a milestone is you just set a date at any time during your rock period that you're going to get something accomplished that's going to help you complete that rock. So for this trifold brochure, Art Pearson said he's going to contact printing, find out how much it's going to cost, and see how quickly they can get everything turned around for him. Now, he said he was going to get that done by November 2nd, but he did not get it done because he didn't mark off this box. We are past November 2nd. That is why this date is red, the dot on the timeline is red, and his entire timeline is red right now because he is off track. But we can easily fix that. All we need to do is assign it to do to Art to contact printing over the next 7 days. To assign that to do, you just go to his rock and then click that box with the check mark. It is going to auto-populate all the details from the rock once again, and then you just make up the to-do. I'll say contact printing. Now, Art Pearson will obviously be accountable for that because it is his rock. When you click save, a little box pops up in the bottom corner and it says a to-do has been made. So Art Pearson now knows he has got to contact printing over the next 7 days. When he gets that accomplished during the week, all he needs to do is go to his personal workspace. He can open up this rock and then he clicks in this box that he contacted printing. When he does that, this date goes from red to blue, the dot on the timeline goes from red to green, the entire timeline turns green, and he can now move himself to on track, because at this point, he's done everything he needs to do to complete that rock on time. Now, you can have as many milestones as you would like affiliated with any of these rocks. You could have no milestones, you could have 50 milestones if you wanted to. If Art needed to do 3 different things to complete this trifold brochure, he could set 3 different milestones. There would be 3 different dots going across this timeline based on the dates that he put in there, and all he has to do is cross off each one as he gets them completed. Now let's go into the people headlines. People headlines are super simple. It's just information you want to share about anybody in your company or even one of your clients. They do not have to be a part of this level 10 meeting. Whoever puts the headline in from their personal workspace is the person in the circle, and then this is the headline. So we closed a huge deal with a new client. That is awesome news. We definitely want to celebrate that as a leadership team. But we may also want to share that information with our sales level 10 meeting so that they know everything about that new client. So once you have multiple level 10 meetings on the software, if you'd like to share a headline from one meeting to another, all you have to do is click this little arrow. It is going to copy that headline. You tell it the meeting you want to share it with. I'll share it with sales. I click save, a little box pops up saying the headline has been copied. So that exact same headline with all of the notes is now in the sales level 10 meeting. Now at the end of this meeting, all of the people headlines and all of the completed to-dos will automatically drop off and go into the archive because those are both based on the last 7 days. That's why we shared this one with the sales level 10 meeting, because next week when we come back in, none of these headlines are going to be here. They will be in the archive. You can still bring them back at any time, but as of the end of the meeting, they do drop off. Also with the people headlines, if there are any notes or attachments affiliated with them, all you have to do is click the headline to see them. So Jenny had her baby and it's a boy. Over here in the notes it says that baby was 17 pounds and she broke a state record. Now, Jenny is not going to be with us for a while. She is going to be on maternity leave. That was a very big baby. She may never be coming back. Jenny is a part of our sales team, so we need to know what we're going to do with her clients while she's away on maternity leave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this headline into an issue so we can discuss that during IDS. To turn this into an issue, all you have to do is click that little push pin. It is going to auto-populate into an issue. Now you can rename the issue if you would like to have more clarity on the actual issue, but I'm just going to leave it Jenny had her baby and it's a boy. When I click save, bottom left-hand corner, another box pops up, says an issue has been created. So Jenny and her baby are now waiting for us in IDS. We can discuss there what we're going to do with her clients while she's gone. If you did need to create a to-do from the people headlines, all you have to do is click in the box with the check mark like this one. If we want to send some flowers to Jenny while she's in the hospital, click that box, create a to-do, tell somebody in this meeting to send some flowers over to Jenny. Now let's go into the to-dos. You always want to be EOS pure, which means you get 90% of your to-dos completed as a group every single week. If you do, this congratulations will pop up. These fireworks will go off and everybody says, yay, we did our job over the last 7 days. Then you just click the save to analyze the to-dos. Now, any new to-dos that were made during today's meeting, they will always be on top. It says new, the software knows that they are new, so they are not included in this percentage completed. What that means for you is you can assign as many to-dos as you would like at any time during this meeting, and it will not hurt your percentage completed from the week before. Now, the people that did complete their to-dos, they marked them off in their workspace like I showed you. They checked off that little box. That is why they are checked off and grayed out. If you did not complete your to-do, it's going to still be in black and white and your picture will be in color. Now, next week, when we come back into this meeting, all of these that are checked off and grayed out, they will be gone. They'll be in the archive. These two will still be up here, but they will no longer say new. Hopefully they're grayed out because they got everything taken care of over the last 7 days. And if Sue still does not send these quotes out to 3 new prospects, there is going to be a red box right here that says late. It's a way of holding people accountable for their to-dos. Nobody wants to see that late at the end of their line. But if it does happen, you can make an issue out of it by clicking the push pin, and then in IDS, you can either reassign that to-do to somebody else who has time to get it done, or just talk to Sue, find out what her blockers are. Maybe give her a hand so that by next week, she will have completed this to-do and that late will no longer be at the end of her line. Now let's go into IDS. IDS is the most important part of your meeting. That's why it is 60 minutes long and everything else is 5. This is where you identify your issues, you discuss them, and you solve them. That's what it stands for. Everybody in the meeting is going to see this long list of issues. Any newer issues will always be on top. Anything carried over from past weeks will be towards the bottom. You decide as a group which 3 are the most important to discuss first. When you know which ones those are, you just click the IDS next to them. So we'll do traction tools, we'll do Jenny and her baby, and we'll do revised financial department structure. When I click that third one, they automatically move up to the top in the order that you picked them so you can start IDSing. Now to IDS, all you have to do is click the issue itself. Any notes or attachments that were put in before today's meeting are going to pop up right here on your noteboard. This now becomes a virtual whiteboard. So as you are discussing this issue, anybody in the meeting can add additional notes. They can put in hyperlinks, attachments, URLs, PDFs, pictures, whatever you need, and this will all autosave with that issue and follow it anywhere that it goes in the software. Now, if you are running your meetings remotely and you do decide that you want to whiteboard, we have a new feature. You can click on View Whiteboard right here. That will turn your page into a whiteboard. Anybody who is currently logged in right now can start drawing on this whiteboard. You can use your stylus to write in there. You can put in text boxes, circles. When you are done whiteboarding, this does not automatically save with the issue, but everything in this software is a PDF. So you can either save it in your docs, you can save it somewhere else on your computer, or if you don't need it anymore, you can just click that trash can. And then you go back into the meeting and you continue IDSing. So you talk about traction tools, you saw the demo, you like the pricing, you want to at least take advantage of that 30-day free trial to make sure it's going to work for your company. So you make a to-do out of it. To make a to-do, just go right back up to that issue line and click that box with the check mark. It is going to auto-populate all those details once again, as well as all those notes that you added during the meeting, and this to-do will be contact Regis and start the trial. Now you can have anybody in the meeting responsible for it. I'm just going to give it to Eileen because she's the one that put it in. When I click save, bottom left hand corner, another box pops up, says a to-do has been made. That will show up as a to-do for Eileen at the end of the meeting, so she knows she's got to contact me, get everything set up for their 30-day free trial. Now, once you have fully discussed this issue, you have solved it, you're ready to send it into the archive, and that does not always happen in 1 week's time. But when you have fully discussed it and solved it, to send it into the archive, all you have to do is click this little box. That takes it off this list. It is now in the archive. You can still bring it back at any time. All the notes, details, and attachments will be right there with it, but as of now, it is in the archive. Another way that an issue might leave this list: Jenny had her baby and it's a boy. Well, we already know Jenny is a part of our sales team, so we as a leadership team have decided we're not going to pick out who's going to take care of her clients. We're going to move this over to the sales level 10 meeting and have them decide who's going to take care of her clients. So once again, once you have multiple level 10 meetings on the software, if you'd like to move an issue from one meeting to another, it works the same way as the people headlines. Just click that little arrow. It is going to copy the issue. You tell it the meeting to send it to, I will send it to sales. I click save and it now shows that it's been moved to the sales level 10 meeting. Now this technically is no longer our issue, but it does stay on our issues list, and the reason for that is this. Next week, when we come back into this meeting, if sales took care of this issue in their level 10 meeting, they picked out somebody to take care of Jenny's clients, they will have solved the issue, dropped it off of their issues list, and this will then automatically say solved. But if we come back next week and this still says moved and there are no new notes in this notes section, that means sales hasn't even looked at this issue yet. That's when we're going to send them a cascading message that they need to put somebody in charge of Jenny's clients because nobody's talking to them right now and we don't want to lose them as clients. So really, it's just another set of eyes on the issue. Even though this is technically no longer our issue, it does stay on our issues list until this says solved. That way nothing ever will fall through the cracks. Once it does say solved though, just click the box, send it in the archive, you'll be all done with it. And the last way that an issue might leave this list: revise the financial department structure. That might be an issue you're not going to take care of right away. Maybe it's next quarter, maybe it's even 6 months down the road. You can move it to your long-term issues list on your Vision Traction Organizer by clicking the VTO right here. That takes it off this list. It is now on the Vision Traction Organizer. I'm going to take you there now because that is included in the software. Here is the Vision Traction Organizer for Swan Services. It is everything about the future of the company. It's 2 pages long. You have your vision page, which is everything about your long future, and then you have your traction page, which is everything you're going to be doing within the next year. On this document, you put your company core values. These are the things that you hire people based on and you fire people based on. Everybody in your company better have these company core values or they will not be a good fit for your company. You have your core focus. This is your purpose, your cause, your passion, your niche. This is the thing that makes you better than all of your competition. You have your 10-year target, your big, hairy, audacious goal. This is where your company is going to be in 10 years. You don't know how you're going to get there. You just know you are going to get there. Then you create a marketing strategy to help you get to that 10-year target. This box is what your company is going to be looking like in 3 years. It's all of your financials and all the things that have changed in your company over the last 3 years. Then you get to the traction page. This is everything you're going to be doing over the next year. The first box is your 1-year plan, all of your financials and all of your goals for the year. This box is this quarter's information, all of your financials and all of the rocks for the quarter. Now these are the company rocks, not the individual rocks. And then the reason we came here, the long-term issues list. This is a parking lot for all of your issues that are important to your company. They just might not be that important right now. Revised financial department structure is the one that we just sent over. If you are ever in a level 10 meeting and you want to discuss one of these issues now instead of waiting till next quarter or the quarter after, all you have to do is come to this portion of the software. There is an IDS at the end of each one of these lines. Whichever one you want to move back, you just click that IDS. It'll take it off this list, move it right back to the level 10 meeting you just came from. I'm going to take you back there now, and there it is, revised financial department structure. Now I'm going to pretend we discussed this one and we solved it, so I'm going to send it into the archive. We have only used up 7 minutes of our allotted 60 minutes. That means we've got time now to pick some more issues to discuss. And you'll do the same thing. Just click in the circles of the next 3 you want to discuss. They move up to the top. You discuss them. You solve them. You send them into the archive. And you keep on doing that for 60 minutes or until you run out of issues. But I can tell you right now, you will rarely run out of issues. So you keep on doing it for 60 minutes. Now let's go into the conclusion. In the conclusion, first thing it's going to do is recap all of today's to-dos. So everybody looks up there and says, great, that's what I'm going to get done over the next 7 days. At the end of this meeting, an email will automatically go out to every single person who is a part of this level 10 meeting. It'll be a recap of the level 10 itself. Included in that recap will be all of these to-dos. So you see them at the end of the meeting. When you get back to your desk, you see them again in your email. If it is your to-do, it will also automatically be put onto your primary workspace. So there are no excuses for not completing your to-dos. If you have any cascading messages and need to go out to any other departments within the company, like if we need to yell at that sales team to take care of Jenny's clients, we can create a to-do right here telling somebody in this meeting to go and yell at the sales team. Then everybody's going to rate this meeting. It is a level 10 meeting, so you want to get as close to a 10 as you possibly can. If somebody does happen to give it a lower score though, like anything less than an 8, you would ask that person right now, what was wrong with today's meeting? What can we do better next week? So you can give it a score of a 10. Then it's going to send an email summary out to all attendees. It's going to archive the completed to-dos and archive the people headlines. When you conclude the meeting, it will always show you these 4 boxes. It'll say 6 issues were solved in today's meeting. 92% of the to-dos were completed last week. 9.5 was the average rating at today's meeting, and the meeting took 22 minutes. Now that will normally say 90 minutes, but I don't want to waste your whole day, so we did it in 22. The email that goes out to everybody will always start with these 4 boxes. Right after those boxes, it's going to list all of those to-dos that you saw at the end of the meeting. It's going to break them out based on whose to-do it is, so there's no confusion whatsoever. After the to-dos, it's going to list all the people headlines from today's meeting. After the people headlines, it's going to list these 6 solved issues individually. It's going to put all the notes, all the details, all the attachments right there in your email, so you have it for your further reference if you need it. If you do happen to erase that email though, no big deal. Everything in this software auto archives, so you do have access to that information through the archive at any time. I want to thank you very much for your time today. If you do need to set up a demo, please go to our website, which is mytractiontools.com. You can click on the box that says start free trial, and you can set up a demo, or you can just self-onboard. Thank you so much and have a great day.